I am in severe agony because all of my illusions are being shattered. I had fallen in love with things and people, and these weren't reliable. I had trusted in them to provide a service or a space or some information that it makes me want to say that we both weren't ready to receive. I want to cry, but I won't. But if you look, I haven't been sleeping. Nobody wants to believe my testimony or the things that I say. They think that I'm just like crazy. They think that like my feelings and my brain is all messed up or something. Like I'm so emotional they can't seem to grasp or to feel what I feel because they've never been there, you know what I mean? And for me, it's extremely painful. And yeah, as you can see, like I'm angry. I'm very angry and I'm tangled because I feel like I'm in shackles because I just desperately just want to love and I want to be received and I would like to have tools that bring joy. And yeah, I think of the phallus as a tool that I could use to serve me pleasure in ways when I can't serve myself that. I wanted someone to love me so much that somebody only made love to me. And what sucks is I made that image on blast that so many people are orgasming to me because of the sexual energy that I've put out there. That like, what guy's gonna want to be with that girl, you know? Especially if they're psychic or sensitive like me, they're gonna feel and know every time like someone's invading my aura and like, you know, releasing to me. And then it's gonna make them feel like I'm cheating or like I'm not there. But that's not true, but it sucks because in some levels my heart wasn't there and that's part of my karma because like I wasn't caring about people's hearts and I just put on this erotic image because, you know, that's what I was taught that guys liked and I had grown to like, you know, the addictions of pornography myself, so I couldn't help but escape myself through that. You know, that was the one way that I knew to like, you know, instantly feel instant gratification. Ego, body, mind. So I'm telling you this truth because I want to remind myself of my purpose, you know? I realized that my job here, I broke down my name. Trina, it means Trinity, also known as purity or clarity. When I connect to the Trinity, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go Jesus on you, but you could say Holy Ghost. I'm sorry, I'm not religious, so I don't even remember. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to learn the religion. You know, it'd be nice to rely on God, you know, a higher power than I. And even if it's like my higher self or like Archangel Michael or Jesus or God, straight to God's source, okay? I do definitely feel a vibe that there's like some type of source where we all came, and it almost feels like it's the sun, you know? Like, it's like, oh, I started off as a seed there, and then because the sun's the brightest star, and I feel like some type of electromagnetic energy, and I don't know, I feel like we're just like some type of you know, I don't know if you know, that's a Prometheus reference where like supposedly like God collected all the elements in the galaxy and just with their breath, their air, made like perfect existence, because on Earth everything is so perfect, you know, like the numbers and everything, it's just so perfect. Like, if, like, our temperatures were any different, or if anything was any different, like, we would not exist, you know, without the bees. There was, like, such a perfect harmony before man started learning everything and, like, destroying things by being obsessed with learning and not being able to know love, meaning to be able to know service or be able to know the reason for the existence of the opposite. You know, people wanted to change and get chemicals and combine them and make all these different things, which is great. You know, I love science for that. However, I can't help but feel the pain of, like, wow, you didn't think that it was okay the way it was? You had to, like, make something on your own? I mean, obviously God or, like, the higher energies are just, like, really proud to see, like, wow, it's really amazing what you've done with that. But, you know, sometimes the why comes into hand. Like, like sometimes people did it from fear or from pain, so there's a lot of creations in existence that came from pain. Like imagine how many people were making love with each other because they were in pain, and then they accidentally made a baby, so like it was really painful when the mom brought the baby in, and it probably was a very painful experience for that soul to have to come here while knowing that it was brought here and made love. The love that was made, it was because it was out of pain, not because they actually really loved each other. But somehow they had come together because they had saw themselves in the other person, which is why they made love. I'm tired of trauma bonding. My heart is just so broken because I don't want to trauma bond anymore. I really just want one partner. Just one. One guy. One guy. And I see him in my mind all the time, because I swear to God that I have met this person, and like I'm hearing this vibe. If there's a God, if I'm really clairaudient, I'm not a crazy schizophrenic like you want to pretend, right? Like I keep hearing that I need to be patient, and that there's divine timing, divine law, divine rule. But I don't even know these core principles, because I don't study religion. So that's why I've been turning to the religious people, like, please help me understand what's going on, because it seems like ever since I made my Mother's Day video and I talked about God and the Luciferian concept of them loving the devil, like Revelations 9/11, okay? And then look at the CERTA commercial of Donald Trump of the 9/11 and the sheep. Why do they always refer to us as kids and sheep? Ever think about that? Did you ever think about that flesh? That trick? I'm itchy. I'm still like conquering MRSA, even though like I've stated like a public image otherwise on Instagram. I mean, I'm not having any new source, but I still have this in my blood. I still have a GU syndrome. If you're into traditional Chinese medicine, please look up GU syndrome. Or if you're in love with me, maybe you want to learn about it and you can help me heal, because you're actually genuinely interested and invested in knowing who I am. It's really, 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 really painful when I'm lonely. And I can just hear, and God said to the zodiac signs, because my Venus is in Aquarius, so I'm not going to be allowed to ever have like one love, it feels like. It feels like the only love that I can ever have is with God and myself. That's the only stable one. Unless like I can get this person to come back to God and to find the light, instead of being obsessed with fighting and hating and destruction. I'm just disappointed because I really had high expectations of like marrying and having kids with this one person. And I feel like my whole reality is shattering because I had such high hopes and high faith and high commandments of like my ego, body, mind, thinking that I know what is right. And like this is where I'm having to like let go and let God and trust in the divine process that is. And like, something else that keeps coming up, I want to talk about like what I know about the devil, okay? Like, first I'm going to go to the devil tarot card. The devil, okay? In the devil's tarot card, it shows like this big satyr monster thing who's like half person but has horns, and then like has like, yeah, like my favorite part's like the satyr thing or centaur. And then in front of him is hidden another secret message. He has the major arcana of the tarot of the lovers, and he has them chained together. So it symbolizes, your demons. Sometimes you become shackled with other people's demons, or like when you love someone, their demons are your demons, But again, the way that I love you is by seeing the me inside of you, even if it's the dark parts. And the way that I help you love yourself is by being honest with you how I see you. And you're supposed to find a way to turn all the things that you hate and that you don't like about yourself, and to make it your job to look at it in brilliance, to find a way to love it, to be with it, and not to change it, and to allow it to express itself, allow the feeling to come up, hear what it has to say, process it, close your eyes and breathe through it and be with it, and go through it one more time and hear what it has to say so it can be released, so it can be absorbed, because so many of you have been through so many love lives. I worry about this about my own like partner, who might be my future ex-partner at this point, because we've just been fighting so much due to the what I would call the gyroscopic precession. It's like the way that the axis is going. Did you know the Hoover Dam is built precisely to go at the axis? And there's so many monuments all over the world that helps us know the axis and the position of that. And that's like an Illuminati Freemason thing, because they all worship the sun. Like you can tell by looking at Prozac, Red Bull, There's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies who all like are major like masses manipulating corporations who all worship the sun, which is the sun symbolizes like as long as there is light, there will be access to information. That's why like they're trying to take out like the sun and like I can't even explain what's going on, okay? But man is just a symbol of like the essence of source and God. And like, yeah, there's a lot of fallen angels here on earth. We're Nephilim. We have been mixed with like supposedly, according to the religious people, okay? The stories that I've heard is that like angels came down to earth to like help, but then they fell in love and got tempted by the half of God and the half of man. And then they made like half man, half angel creatures, which is what I feel like I am. You know, I'm Nephilim. And I've always identified heavily with the elemental realm, like connecting with the earth and the planet. And God, how I just wanted a partner to just travel and to share all these things with. And yeah, like I had a fantasy of us like being like on the red carpet together type energy where we're like, oh, this is the boy example and this is the girl example. Like I really just wanted to be so pure and clean in my heart and in my thought processes. Like it was so important for me to heal. It's really hard for me to watch my own videos, so I feel like maybe I should be mindful in my creation. But I have so much more to speak. I wanted to tell the real story of that I was angling at about the devil, so I don't really want to talk about the tarot card. If you want me to talk about tarot, then I encourage you to book me for a private tarot session. The most expensive that my tarot is for my Celtic cross is $50, while other people are charging $150 to $200, and some people are undercharging that too, you know? But if you want to work with me, that's the price that I've chosen. It's the minimum donation. But if you want to send more, like I'm always leaving that space, you know, I just have to tell them the minimum donation, you know, because some people can only afford the minimum, but they have to be invested in themselves. And I guess you can say God's source in me confirms and checks in with me what's the worth of certain things. And I have been given and blessed with so many women in my life who have just been like super angels and super just like me. And it's been so nice to see myself in other people because I've been so lonely. And like, especially with women, like I've been most beat up by women. And then, like, it makes me mad because I feel like they have abused themselves and done what Trina did. Like, you put yourself in this sexual image on stage and you just keep begging for people to love you. And, like, and I know why you do it. Yeah, because you need other people to tell you what's your purpose. Like, what are you doing in my life, you know? Like, literally, let me tell you, like, you being in my life has brought fear to my life. Or has brought fear to my beliefs. Or had made me to be scared, to watch out for this, you know, or some people you've really brought love, like you've really, wow, you've opened my eyes to new happy things, like things that I wasn't seeing clearly before. I just want to break down crying and it just won't come out. And I was hoping that it would, like on camera, you know, but like my rage is just building. Nobody understands me. Nobody wants to be with me. Not even me. This pain is so much. Lex Talinus. Lex Talinus is the law of retribution. But please let me go back to the story of the devil. I've told this before, but it's meant to come out in this segment. So, Lucifer. Did you know that Lucifer is actually the fake name for the devil? That's why in Cinderella, it's Lucifer. They created Babel, you know? When, like, we try to go up to heaven and get out of here, and when we reach the firmament and all that stuff, or whatever's really going on, you know, I don't really know. I'm just making jokes, kind of, to try to make light of, like, whatever's going on. But some part of me, like, knows, like, something's up, you know? I'm like a hound dog. I just can't stop being a hound dog. Sometimes I feel like Anubis or Jesus, like, those two souls live on inside of me. And, like, I know even if they're just mythology, like, I really resonate with those stories, and they really are me. You know, like, I think it's important to help people be lighthearted, so I try to make jokes and try to make light, but sometimes, like, the way that I make light is by making, like, dark jokes. You know, like, I never wanted to accept my, like, sexual abuse when I was 2 years old. And, like, I used to make jokes about dead babies when I was little. And, like, it's kind of embarrassing to admit that, but I see now. I know now why I did that. And, like, I just, like, feel like, you know, like, I was really abused. And, like, my parents had no idea, you know? They thought that I was with someone that they could trust, and, like, they still don't know or believe, and there's no way to prove to them, and I don't want them to do anything about it, you know what I mean? Like, don't attack the person, don't hate our family. Have compassion for them. See yourself in them. See where you have liked underage someone on accident even, you know? Like where a girl was like really well developed because of the milk or the hormones or whatever excuses you want to say, that it made you like look at people that way. Instead of like loving them, you know, you wanted to use them, be like, wow, I want to smash with that, you know? But people don't realize that the reason why they want to make love to people is they want to make love to healthy people. Like, you like women with big boobs, not because of so much of the programming, but because, like, usually if a woman has big, plump breasts, it's that she's in a place to be fertile. And that's attractive. Because we want to make babies, especially if it's out of love. My head hurts. And I'm in so much fear and in denial that, like, it's hard to go on. It's so hard to go on. And everyone, like, thinks that I'm going to kill myself because of my emotional turmoil. I'm not going to do that. I learned, like, the difference a long time ago. In some levels, that's just a narration. And I probably shouldn't be speaking until I'm really ready to give this to you because it hurts me to share these parts with you. But I'm, like, struggling to even process them myself. So when they come up, I'm like, oh, my God, stuff that down. Stuff that down. No, no, no. And then it makes me not want to eat. Like, just because my whole experience is just making me nauseous. And then sometimes I'll just go days without even eating food or drinking water. And I just, like, just didn't think of it. You know, I just wasn't feeling it. And then, like, my body gets really, really sick. Like, if I get dehydrated, like, I won't sleep. And, like, the medications I've been taking, they're absorbing all of my water and all of my dampness, which is good. But, like, my body is making such a drastic shift from being, like, all cold and damp inside to being all hot and fiery. So I feel like maybe that's also why I'm fighting with people. And it's also why people are able to tap into my energy more. Because I'm able to be my true self instead of, like, the cold that I have been fronting for so long. Man, I wish that my partner was seeing this. And that if he was seeing it, I wish that he would contact me and say that I love you so much. But, like, he would hate me right now if he was watching this because he would feel like I'm putting him on blast. But he doesn't trust or, like, understand or, like, I don't know. He's been so betrayed that, like, he can't see me as, like, my own self. That, like, he wants to turn me into this person that, like, he wishes I was. That I wish I was, too. And I wish that he would give me positive enforcement like a dolphin. And train me how. How to love him. How to love me. I know that he loves me. I can feel it. Sometimes his energy is so comforting. And, like, I just want to rest with him. That's all I want to do. I don't even, like, have to make love to him. I don't have to touch him. Like, I would be so content if he was just, like, laying here and if I could just hear his breath. There's something, like, so, like, loving that it feels. There's such joy to the soul, like, when it just... God, when it finally meets its other self, like, the polarity, I feel whole. And it's not that I'm not whole in myself, you know? It's just that, like, there's parts of me that just don't exist in me, you know? Like, I wish that I was smarter with math and physics and stuff and cleanliness and just intelligence and mindfulness. And, like, yeah, in many ways, my partner is everything that I'm not. And I like that. And that makes people feel uncomfortable because they don't get it. I just feel like because I broke so many hearts and because I did, like, the webcam thing, I feel very shameful for my sexuality, or at least I used to. Until I realized, like, what a gift it was. And what its purpose was. It wasn't just to, like, break seed and to be animal. But I noticed that I did get headaches and migraines more if I didn't make love to myself. And, like, what I mean is, like, don't look at, like, porn or anything. Because, like, that was me sending out my light and my heart to someone else when I didn't even have it for myself. So I learned to, like, how to touch myself and, like, make myself okay with, like, loving me or, like, what feels good for me without having to like look at something that like, whoa, that really stimulates the brain and the privates, you know? Like, I'm sharing these private messages with you because I have the intention of teaching you that, like, you don't have to hate your sexuality or feel like it has no place here. And I understand that many of us feel ruled by it, and some of us feel guilty that we just don't have a high sex drive. But I want you to know that, like, there's a lot of things that are interfering and causing both of these polarities. That's making the whole system go haywire, and I know that it's connected to the Georgia Guidestones. I would love to go back there. I would love to have true friends and true love. I feel so lonely. So lonely all the time. Mainly because, like, nobody understands me. And, like, I feel like I'm meant to travel all over the world. And, like, that's all that I want. Like, if I can't have love, if I can't have one person that just stays forever and that I want around and that I give permission to be in my life in these ways and that they're not manipulating me or forcing themselves into me. Like, you know? Like, if I can't have that, then please fund me. Help me be me and get paid to do what I serve in your life. Am I serving, teaching, and light and information? Am I bringing light to the dark places for you? Am I bringing you joy sometimes when you see me smile? What is my purpose? Why are you here? What do I do for you? What do you get from me? Maybe if you were honest with me, and if you could actually answer and meditate on, like, what did Trina do for me? Without being a jerk and saying nothing, and really trying to see, like, what did I get out of that? Maybe you could help me love me by helping me see, like, what am I doing? What good am I doing? I just want to see the good. Can you show me some good? Because all I seem to see and know is how bad I am. And I just want to be good. And it's not easy to be good. I feel like I'm learning how to be human. How to be an animal. How to be Trina. How to work. How to function. How to move on with my life. How to love. Sometimes I just felt like I couldn't be on this planet anymore. And I just wanted to abandon everyone and everything. I don't want to project my problems onto people. I don't even want to tell anybody how bad I'm suffering because I'm afraid they'll make my suffering their own because they'll love me that much. So I feel like I need to distance myself and that you shouldn't know how I'm suffering because I don't want you to take my pain as your own because I know how energy works. No energy can be created or destroyed. It can only change form, right? Or change places. I love physics. I wish everything would just work out and be better. I wish that my best possible outcome in my head was the reality of the situation. And for me, it's where I end up in Bellingham, Washington. And then I own my own healing shop center where people come to have Trina medicine, where you just come to spend time with me. And it's my place, my yurt, my spot, my healing sanctuary. And yeah, where we talk about ayahuasca and lysergic acid and your experiences with Santa Maria, also known as marijuana, or whatever things that you have endured, where we talk about you. I want to be a space for you where, you know, where you see yourself in me because you can see and feel and know that I understand you. Because I worked so hard to understand myself and I had suffered through so much that I have grown to understand a lot of things. And the more that it hurt and the more that I didn't understand, the more time and patience that I gave it. God is telling me that they want me to go outside and enjoy nature today and connect with the animals. The animals is what brings me joy more than anything. So if I was given permission to have my best possible outcome, yeah, we would have like a yurt or something because we would need to have lots of land because I need to have animals like tigers, lions, bears, everything. I'm a sanctuary. You would bring me your baby animals or your injured animals and I would have a safe place for them where they can all exist together on my land. But I know that everybody wants to destroy that. That's why man has killed almost all the animals except for what they thought was safe. You know, they killed the giants, they killed the mermaids. No, I'm kidding. I hope that you can realize that I love you. And I'm trying to love all of you. And that it brings me closer to God and myself. The more that you open up. I'm trying to open up and heal my heart. I'm going to have to do some yoga postures that symbolize and represent that. I'm going to be working out excessively to prepare for the gathering. Oh, dude, why does my arm look so buff? Whoa. My arm does look kind of beefy compared to normal. What about that guy? Be just that way. Work out my muscles. As simple as that. I want some acupuncture, dude. I would love to go get acupuncture. So if you got something out of this, maybe you want to send me 90. Part of that's a joke, but like, yeah, if you got an extra $90 to throw around and to like show Trina that she's worth something, especially $90, or worth getting acupuncture, that's the real thing. My acupuncture is so magical, but yeah, she's $90. She's a great teacher. I love paying for her lessons. I love like I'm allowed to like film and it's just amazing to work with her. And I will share my personal journey with you, especially if you send $90. I'll film my entire my acupuncture session, especially if like my doctor gives me permission that I can record her voice. You know, it's very important for me to respect her and her wishes. Just like I'm respecting my partner's wishes, you know. I'm backing off of him and giving him time to really reflect what he really wants and to really digest the things that I've said. But like, he's me, so he blacks out and forgets and has so much trauma. But he needs to center and to refine himself, and so do I. Because since he's so off of the wire, and so is like a lot of other people, when you're not in your center and you're serving and you're elsewhere, you got to get in your body. And the way that you do that is you alignment, the at-one-ment. Atonement, at-one-ment, acknowledge, to act upon knowledge. All I do is turn the lights on. All this information's from Uncle Frank. I love Uncle Frank so much. I can't wait for the gathering. Please help me get whole and healed and lift up my spirits. Help me financially survive. Help me find the love for myself. Help me love you. Help me love the world. Help me share. There's so many people who just don't value and respect themselves and won't like invest their time and energy into themselves in a way that's healthy. So it's been clearly communicated with me that like they have to make an investment, and that's where the money comes in. If the Illuminati wants to create money, mono I, and make this paper, this printed fake thing that is an IOU that says that like, you know, it's valuable. So you're going to have to invest what you pride, enjoy, what you work hard for. You have to trade that, because it's the only way you're going to understand how the energy works until you're ready to leave the physical and to step into something that's all feeling. And that doesn't really make sense other than closing your eyes, breathing, and feeling it, you know? Take your time, be gentle with yourself. Look how much I've healed since I've released. Do you see how my face has changed? I feel so much better. But I'm still really tired. And like, here, I'll show you. Like, yeah, the sun woke me up. I used to have a really abusive ex-boyfriend who used to get really mean with me in the mornings. He was actually the only person who was ever, like, given the title of my fiance, which he kind of proposed to me, like, 3 weeks after meeting me, and he did it outside of a cross. I really liked that, you know, and I kind of sometimes wish that, like, it wasn't just a fantasy, and that he wasn't just trying so hard to play a role that he wasn't meant to be. But I'm moving on. I'm evaporating. I'm changing form. I'm going from liquid to gas to solid. I feel like I'm missing something. Mist? That's still liquid. Liquid, solid, gas. Is there really only 3? I feel like I'm missing something. Power. Personal will. I don't know. I'm going to have to spend some time meditating. I think I'm going to treat myself to a bath and really scrub my body. Like, that's the only way I'm going to get cleansed and purified, in my personal opinion. And I need borax. I need to clean out my digestive tract, and I'm going to keep fasting, and I'm going to keep working on my abs, and I'm going to keep working on my TB, my toxic B. when Sarah comes back from her vacation, I'm going to do, well, hopefully I'll be allowed to shave then. God, MRSA, ouch. I just pulled my own hairs. I need to just learn to love myself. That are just like, yeah, if you really, like, maybe I'll just do all the things that make girls look gross, and then and only then, like, I'll find someone who's, like, really attracted to me anyway. Like, I've been smiling so much that, like, I create these kind of wrinkles. And the stress lines are here. Anger is also here. Do you know the teeth are extensions of our nervous system? And they symbolize each and every one of our feelings. Each nerve. And some people really shot their nerves out, if you know what I mean. I'm not missing a single tooth, really. Except for the wisdom teeth, you know, they're not fully coming in. I'm not all wise and knowing yet. My Saturn return hasn't come yet. I might be fortunate enough to make it and live it past 27, but I might be forced to join 27 Club, but only God knows and what's going on. And I know that every time I mention God, it goes a little dark and I lose another person. But I also get under more attack, you know? Like, more dark forces are like, oh, they're saying God, go attack it, because I accidentally attack the negative forces when I only focus on the light. I have to see the light even in the darkness, because people don't understand that God created all things. So while you may hate the violent person, that's God in them expressing their truth. Like, if you have ever read the book of, right, the basic instructions before leaving work, Nephi, God makes him kill somebody, dude. And he's like, whoa, you know? But it's for the honor of God. I mean, it's so deep and complicated. And I think that it's important to have, like, a session with Yusuf soon and have a Quran lesson that's recorded and documented that I think he'll find great pride and joy in sharing with us. He might even show his face. I don't know. It's Monday. Namaste is closed. I wonder why they close on Mondays. Is Monday the moon day? I don't know. Sunday. The Vedics do worship the moon, because they go based off of your moon sign when you do the astronomy that way. And they identify me more as Sagittarius, fire. I am so full of fire. And when I come together with my honey's water, I make him boil. Or I create steam. Or I evaporate him. But sometimes his water can put my fire out. And I find comfort and joy in that. I'm so lonely. I don't like being avoided and hung up on and not loved and understood. I didn't like feeling like I had to go to another planet or go back to which I came. I understand all this private information I've shared with you might be causing you to absorb some of my pain and my suffering and my grief. Which, yes, it's nice to get it out. But my intention is not to cause you pain. Please know that it is not I, but the perversion of God's idea. You know? Like, it was God's idea to make man. And then man or somebody else got an idea that they were going to destroy and that they knew better than, like, you know, their creator. And, like, I know you don't want to accept that some electromagnetic energy or something created everything. But there's no denying. I mean, there's like a million ways that you could break it down, you know, about our chromosomes. There's just so many things that are just so perfect that if things were just any different. I miss the water. I'm learning how to human and how to be here by myself. Thank you for those who have made me feel like I'm not alone. But I know that my path is a path that only I can walk, even no matter how much you want to join me. Because it's what I've chosen to come to Earth to do. Maybe I should title this, I Love ZTM. I will always love ZTM. We might make a switch where he becomes more like my brother, you know? Or maybe that is why we fight so much. Maybe our genetics are like too much alike, and that like if we ever had kids, it would just make a, you know, like autism or something like that, just because the polarities would just be so extreme. Or maybe we could come together and really make love and really make like some type of really special energy together, that it could just build inside of me, that like the baby could have the belly touch and have like constant connection from the father, and that there can be like, I don't know, something's telling me that there's still like sexual energy. Oh my God, that just made me realize that. Imagine how many people are still having the sexual energy even while they're pregnant, and the baby's having to experience all of those energetic transferences that are happening during the lovemaking. I feel like that's how twins get made. I don't know anything though. I'm just a kid. I'm just a sheeple. I can only parrot what I've like gathered so far. But I hope to gather more. And I hope to make all of my dreams come true. And I hope that you can project and make a space for me to have all of my dreams become my reality, and not just pretend, but I mean like literally contribute and make sure that it happens. I'm so thankful you have allowed me to share with you what I have received today. Thank you so much for your time. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jai Bhagwan.